This reading is for Joseph. Joseph, thank you so much for choosing me to do your reading today. I wanted to include a little trigger warning at the beginning of this. Sometimes I need to do that. If a reading I feel like is overly emotional, that gives you a chance to make sure you're in the proper environment to process the messages that Spirit has said. So, in the lunchroom at work or driving your car might not be the best time to listen to this reading. So I'd encourage you to find a quiet spot, and when you're feeling kind of zen, then view this. All right, so currently, Joseph, I kind of want you to consider the role that power has played in your life. I feel like you need to be asking yourself, are you giving away a lot of your personal power to kind of, please somebody else or please others? Oftentimes when this card comes up in the position that it is, it kind of indicates that a lot of insecurities that you have and have had started back in childhood. Mainly these would be issues with a father figure in your life, or someone with, that masculine energy who was kind of controlling for you. Or even if you did not have a father figure, it would still kind of be the same if that lack of having a father caused you to have to behave a certain way. Power, when it comes to power, it should always be equal. And I want you to remember that. So I know you, and the kind of soul that you have from reading your energy, you would never be someone that would purposely take power away from other people. And I just really want you to be cautious, not to do that to yourself. I want you to start to think about paying yourself that kind of same respect and not giving your personal power away as much, and people pleasing is basically what I want to get at. You don't have to live up to anybody else's standards but your own anymore. I think that's really important for you to know. Other people, they see you as an expert at things, and I don't think you really realize the extent of that, of how much people look up to you. I think you don't like the limelight, and I think you prefer to stand back from the center stage and kind of have a supporting role, and that's okay. But at the same time, I want you to understand the kind of impact you could make, how powerful your voice is, and how much you really do influence other people. I do see, though, that as years have gone on in your life, that you have been learning to stand up for yourself more and being okay with that. So I want to tell you, congratulations. Not easy to do, and I think that's wonderful. As far as challenges, do not get swept up in other people's dramas, and not so much as just their dramas, but thinking so much about what their opinions on stuff would be, because I really want you to know, that you have a tremendous voice, and sometimes you doubt the power of your own voice and your own opinions, and you worry about speaking up too loudly, or you feel like you'll be seen as silly, and it almost makes you feel guilty when you speak up. Don't be fearful of other people's judgments. I kind of want you to surrender to your calling. You have a calling. You have a very big purpose. And I want you to understand that you are here, and you are here to help bring change into this world. And I'm not saying that, Joseph's going to save the world himself overnight, but I feel like you are definitely a catalyst. And I don't want you to be afraid of serving that purpose. there's always going to be people who gossip and people who lie and continue, you know, to cause havoc. I want you to keep having honest conversations about the things that matter. The collective really needs to hear your message, and you do make a difference. Consciously, I think you are aware that you've kind of reached a milestone in your own life, and before you can go on to the next challenge, you really need to take some time to rest and restore that energy. You know, constant stress, tension, that's going to break even the most resilient people. So you do need to allow yourself brief periods of rest and quiet and just alone time. And I feel like you have that. You have a good friend group, and that's very supportive of you. So have some fun with them as well, and that can be considered rest. But you do need to build yourself back up. You need to build back up your mental strength. Subconsciously, I don't think you always see the value in the fact that you are so compassionate and you're so nurturing and you are sensitive and you have this big, beautiful, caring heart. And I want you to understand that those things are some of the most beautiful, important, maybe the only virtues that truly matter in the long run. So you're a good person, and I want you to understand that those are really, really good things. Don't ever be ashamed of those. Don't ever hide those. You know, you're a powerful empath is what you are, and you can sense the needs and the feelings of other people, and that really is a superpower. The reason you don't hold it as that and in that kind of regard is because a lot of times it actually brings you down. And the reason that it's bringing you down is because you take on other people's energy and you take on their emotional issues as their own. And that can bring hurt. And, you know, when there's not that healthy boundary and you don't know how to separate your energy from theirs, it can be destructive at times. Definitely, you know, learn to set boundaries, learn to release and let go of energy that isn't your own. Don't hold on to that. Release it back into the universe as often as you can. You know, you're the type of person other people are going to come to you and come to you often with their problems and their personal issues. But that's because they know that they can trust you. In a sense, I want to say, Joseph, like, you're a healer. You have that healing energy and you heal other people's souls. But at the same time, you can't give from an empty cup, and you have to have some balance and allow them to fill your cup back up in return. Don't always be the giver. But you're a really good friend and you're a really good person. I don't want you to change that about yourself for any reason. When it comes to your recent past, you had a lot of self-limiting beliefs about yourself. You have some issues with self-esteem, which, you know, everyone I've ever read has on some level. So you're not alone with that. But you've often felt unworthy in the past, and you've kind of set up these self-imposed roadblocks in between yourself and the goals that you have for yourself. You know, and these can be things, you know, big and small, regarding, you know, the quality of your health, or having love in your life, or just, you know, quality of life in general. So should you fall back into those type of thoughts that you were having in your recent past, those negative thoughts, I really want you to be more conscious about learning to replace them with reasons why you can do things and solutions to how you can do things, and that you are worthy of these things manifesting in the ways that you want them to do. So I'm going to stop this video and upload into part 2, because otherwise it takes forever to upload onto YouTube. So look for part 2.